Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. Welcome to a brand new edition. This is True Hill Heat 81. On this edition of True Hill Heat, we will be discussing Impact Wrestling, releasing Tessa Blanchard, more fallout from the positive test for WWE, Week 37 of the Wednesday Night War, as it was NXT Great American Bash versus AEW Fyter Fest Night 1, and we'll also preview NXT Great American Bash Night 2, as well as AEW Fyter Fest Night 2 for next week. Of course, I am back once again with the princess of all the true hills, Miss Chrissy Love.
Hello, hello, hello.
What's up, boo?
Hi, guys. What's going on?
We got our resident True Heel alcoholic. He's got his Terry Mama on deck. He is Top Guy JJ.
Hell yeah, at the bar right now, mixing it up, mixing that up, mixing
And
that
we
shit
got
up.
a very special guest all the way from the biggest state, Texas. Good old big old Texas. But
Nah, you gotta stay there.
Originally,
'Cause they got all the coronavirus over there.
originally from right here in New York City, he is none other than Jonathan from Dirt Sheet Radio. What's going on?
Woo! Bam, 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 bam.
Nice. Loving the shirt, bro. Loving the shirt. Loving the shirt. And it didn't even take 42 seconds, and then we heard some shade about a state already. You know what I mean? You know, I told you, baby girl, spicy. You know what I mean? Just be ready.
Always. Well, welcome to the show, Jonathan. Introduce yourself to the fine viewers at home.
Yeah, my name is Jonathan Escudero. I guess I am the founder, or I don't. It sounds so important. It's just a small Facebook thing. It's I'm the founder of Dirt Sheet Radio.
Don't underrate yourself, sir. Don't do that. Don't do that at all, sir.
Pretentious,
Hey, you think it's not important now until somebody takes that shit up under your rug.
That's no, but yeah,
better not.
That's your brand. That's your baby. You better. That's my shit.
I do love my brand, Dirt Sheet Radio. You might have seen us shared around. It's just what it is. A bunch of guys who like sharing shit from the dirt sheets. Talking about it, recording, talking to each other, and just kind of having fun with it. I never imagined that people would actually care to listen, but they do. So yeah, I keep enjoying, I guess.
You're doing something right. People are following your page. People are talking about your podcast. So you're doing your thing, brother, and we're very happy to have you on the show, man.
Yep.
Thank you.
So we show our appreciation to our special guest. We also got to show our appreciation to the viewers at home, to our subscribers. So before we do that, we want to give you a quick reminder to give this video the thumbs up. It helps the YouTube algorithms, helps this YouTube channel grow, and expose it to other wrestling fans like yourself. And of course, the iCard down at the bottom, you can push that to subscribe and the bell to stay notified for all the great content right here on True Hill Heat. So our True Hero Roll Call, Jonathan, is where we shout out all of our supporters on our Facebook group page, right here on our YouTube channel, the True Hill Heat page, which you're also an admin for. I forgot to mention that as well. This man is wearing many different hats. So the True Hill Trinity is our top 3 conversation starters on our True Hills group page. Coming in at number 3 this week is Cody Thornton. He started a great conversation about AEW this week and who we thought would be the next AEW champion after Moxley. So he got a lot of attention this week. Coming in at number 2 is our New Japan aficionado, James Wims. Of course, he's always posting about New Japan and all the other indies around the world. So, of course, he's always up there. And coming in at number 1 once again is the Negro Buck, Nick Jackson.
Holding it down.
A couple of the True Hills we got to shout out: Nathan Hardy, Ross McLaren, Lando Rude, Jeremy Alexander, and Zach Dean. Our YouTube subscriber highlight: Khalil Omar, as well as Yardi F and Abdul Gang. Abdul Gang has been enjoying a bunch of our New Japan reviews, so shout outs to him. He's been really enjoying J News Japan with J News. J News been showing us love with all his reviews, and Abdul Gang has been appreciating that. So we got to shout out him as well. So what we missed this week is the New Japan Cup. Speaking of which, New Japan Cup 2020 action on night 6. We had Yoshihashi beats Bushi. We had Sanada in a banger defeating Sho. We had Taishi upsets Kota Ibushi, and Evil overcomes Goto in the main event. Over on night 7, we had Hiromu Takahashi, a junior heavyweight, the IWGP junior heavyweight champion, pulling off an upset versus Tomohiro Ishii. We had Evil defeating Yoshihashi, Okada defeating Ishimori, and Sanada defeating Taishi. So it comes down to our final 4. It will be Hiromu Takahashi going one-on-one with the Rainmaker, Kazuka Okada. And then over on the other side of the bracket, it is a battle of Los Ingobernables de Japón, as Evil will go one-on-one with Sanada. So we got to ask our very special guest. You're a New Japan fan yourself. Who you got out of that final 4? Hiromu, Okada, Evil, or Sanada?
My heart wants Hiromu Takahashi to make it to the finals, but he's not getting past Okada. I don't. I know better. But so there's either two things that are gonna happen. We're gonna get Okada versus Sanada again, or we're gonna get something fresh, and it's gonna be Evil versus Okada. But I think Okada wins because he's Okada. Don't bet against Okada. That'd be dumb.
He's like, I'm gonna go with the smart money here. I'm gonna go with Okada.
I wanted Shingo to win, but that's long past us. So
you don't see Sanada getting the victory here. Sanada's been denied the big one. Sanada was my vote and J News vote on our New Japan Cup preview for this entire tournament because he came so close last year, and the whole story has been about him not being the only member of LIJ without a title. So how perfect it would be that he beats Evil, and in my eyes, then beats Hiromu to win the New Japan Cup.
I've watched New Japan long enough to know that sometimes the story is too perfect to happen that way. Like, I'm still scarred by Kenny Omega's loss at that Wrestle Kingdom. Like, I thought that was it. That story was perfect. That was the moment. This is it. And LOL, Okada wins. So I'd be happy. I'd be happy to see Sanada win. Don't get me wrong. I would rather it be a fun surprise than to go into that with my hopes up and then to get disappointed.
You don't want a Naito Wrestle Kingdom 12 situation. I get it. I understand. How about you, Top Guy JJ? Your pick, Zack Sabre Jr. You and Miss Chrissy Love picked Zack Sabre Jr. to win the tournament, was out in the first round. Who you got out of that final 4?
Just wanted something different, and I'm going to ask for something different again. I hope it's Takahashi against Evil. God damn it.
Like, who you got in?
And that I would like to see Takahashi pull it out. Like, I would like to see that. Give me something completely unexpected. Like, listen, man, we all know, for God's sakes, Okada is the granddaddy of them all in New Japan. Like, for fuck's sakes, you can take a loss and it will not hurt you. The world promises that. A loss will not hurt you. You're still the man. You're still the Rainmaker. You're still questionably the GOAT of wrestling. Take a loss. Take a loss.
I do like J News's route. J News had Okada and Sanada in the finals, with Sanada getting the big victory over Okada again to win the New Japan Cup and move on to versus Naito. But I just like the fact that all 4 competitors have their own story, with Evil, Sanada, and Hiromu being members of LIJ with Naito, the champion, and Okada being the man that Naito beat for the title. It kind of, all 4 guys would be perfect choices.
So what you're saying is either one, and you wouldn't go bad with either person.
You won't go bad with any of the 4 that they have chosen for the final 4 in this tournament.
Got it.
So over on your land, Miss Chrissy Love, over on SmackDown, it was more or less a tribute to the Undertaker
Like he was
night.
dead.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it because that's his whole gimmick.
I
But
mean, I was not gonna put my whole children through an episode of SmackDown when they're tributing the Undertaker, which is wonderful. However, they treated him like he passed away unexpectedly, out of like natural causes or something. Or maybe, I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, beautiful. Like he just retired. Like I don't think you guys did this for anybody else. You dedicated a whole show. But you know why they did that though.
well, because they didn't have that many people on there. Danny O'Brien wasn't on the show. AJ Styles wasn't on the
no one
show.
wants to get the COVID. People isn't going rampant in Florida because they don't want to wear that damn mask. They want to get tested. It's a damn shame.
We will
carry
get
on.
into that for sure.
Yep.
Over on Monday Night Raw. Oh God, don't. over on Monday. Over on Monday Night Raw. We had a contract signing leads to a mixed tag team matchup where Sasha Banks teams up with Dolph Ziggler versus Drew McIntyre and Asuka, with Sasha getting the victory over Asuka. We had MVP defeating Apollo Crews in a non-title match. Big Show buries Andrade and Garza in a handicap match. And
what else was gonna happen with that match, friend?
I mean, I didn't want the match to happen to begin with.
Well, that's also true. You're right.
But you got to let the Big Show look strong so Randy Orton can kill him at Extreme.
Yeah, that literally is the whole purpose of it. It's just to make it look.
They got his little show on Netflix
to make it look like the Randy Orton is taking out something special. Like, why did Andrade poor Andrade had to be the expense of this? Like what's up with that? Like, why couldn't Big Show just beat up a bunch of ninjas or some shit again?
Yeah,
what the fuck, man? Like, Andrade is something good, man, and they gonna do all of this to make Big Show look good for a fucking week.
Chrissy, what do you think about the teasing of Andrade and Garza splitting up again?
I like that little faction. I like that little group. They need to be better heels. Like they stop having friction between each other and be better like allies for each other and go destroy other people. But I mean, if they're gonna break it up, then it has potential to be something really, really good. And I feel like as WWE always do, they're gonna just put them against each other. Now they're gonna fight each other.
WWE doesn't like good things, apparently.
Right, like it's a good faction. Like we love a good faction. Like let them be dominating. That's what they are. They're both great, fantastic wrestlers. You got rid of the other one. Was it Aries? Was it
Austin Theory?
Austin Theory. I want to say Aries Spears. Like the man from Mad TV. Oh my God. However, you got rid of him, which was a good thing, but we haven't seen him in a while, and it's like, what are you guys doing?
Well, he was with the disciple. He was one of the disciples for the Monday Night Messiah, but he was no, it was a couple of weeks, but he was conspicuous by his absence this week, which we'll also get into. Peyton Royce busted out. Peyton Royce busted out a new finisher as she defeated Ruby Riott as well on Monday Night Raw. So,
oh my God, poor Ruby Riott. Oh my God, I can't.
Finisher. Like I barely see Peyton in singles matches, or and then you barely see the Iconics win. So like, what was her finisher before this?
I think it was no, she had a nice little perfect plex. I think she used to do. Yeah, she used to do like the perfect plex for her victories. But that twisting brainbuster, I was impressed.
It was beautiful.
That shit was iconic.
I loved it.
I loved it. I feel bad for another one that they bury.
Why do you feel bad for Ruby Riott? Like what? Like come on.
She's got a story. What is there to feel bad about her? Like Sarah Logan doesn't even have a job.
Everybody can't be champion.
Have a job. Her teammate Sarah Logan does not have a job.
No,
how would we feel bad?
I'm not.
Yo, why does Lana have a fucking job? Like let's talk about it.
Lana's getting more shine than her.
They're in a storyline together, I guess.
At least Ruby's in the ring.
Getting buried.
Not buried. That was a good match. That wasn't a burial.
Okay.
That wasn't a burial. What Andrade and Garza went through, that
Yeah.
was a burial.
All right, fine, whatever. Carry on.
We gotta go to our top news and something else that will get Chrissy Love fired up. We gotta bring up Tessa Blanchard once again.
That's
As
scumbag.
Tessa Blanchard is released from Impact Wrestling as the world champion. Very rare that a world champion is released from the company, but PW Insider reported this past Friday that Impact Wrestling has terminated the contract of Tessa Blanchard and stripped her of the Impact World Championship. According to the site, communication from both sides went cold after Tessa refused to send promos to Impact for the June 1st episode, which was due to them not being able to come to an agreement for a day rate to do the promos. There were attempts to get her to return to drop the title, but unfortunately agreement was not met there. So Impact made the decision to terminate her contract and strip her of the title. Blanchard's contract was reportedly scheduled to expire prior to Slammiversary, which is on July 18th, where she was booked to defend the title in a 5-way match. Her refusal to return to the U.S. had to do with her living in Mexico right now with her fiance Daga, and with the travel restrictions would not be allowed back into the country if she went to the United States, and they are about to get married. Fightful Select reports that there is no disparagement clause in Tessa's release where she cannot say an ill word about the company and can't divulge any information about the company. Tessa has no non-compete clause with her release and has already been contacted with feelers by the WWE. While many have speculated Tessa jumping to AEW, including AEW star Big Swole, all signs point to AEW staying clear of Tessa due to the racist allegations that transpired earlier in this year for Blanchard. WWE previously had issues with Tessa themselves during the first Mae Young Classic due to attitude problems. This situation follows Impact having to release Joey Ryan, Dave Chris, due to allegations stemming from the Speaking Out movement, which we went in depth about on True Hill Heat 80. And while they also suspended Michael Elgin due to separate allegations for himself. Now at Slammiversary, there will be a fatal 4-way with Eddie Edwards versus Ace Austin versus Trey Miguel versus a mystery opponent to determine the new Impact World Champion. So we'll start off with our special guests. What is your whole thoughts on everything regarding Tessa Blanchard and her release from Impact Wrestling?
As far as that, so we don't, obviously, because of the non-disparagement clause, we're not going to know all sides of the story. So I can only give my opinion on what we know. And from what we know, if I was AEW, I'd steer clear of Tessa Blanchard too. That's crazy unprofessional for a world champion. A world champion. On top of that, is she like the first female to win a male's world championship? To do something like that, you just screwed. You push your whole situation. You push multiple women back, like generations of women that are going to come after you. You screwed this. You screwed the bitch. Yeah. Why should anybody put anything into you? And the only reason WWE is coming after this chick is because WWE fans don't even care. They love Hulk Hogan.
They're fucking oblivious.
So Tessa's gonna fit in perfectly in WWE. She'll probably run a big program with Charlotte, and then she'll fall to the bottom of the card. But that's where I'm at with Tessa. I'm glad AEW stood away from her, honestly.
Absolutely, can't agree more. Chrissy Love, what's your thoughts on Tessa and her release from Impact Wrestling?
Does she not know that the unemployment rate is very high right now? Does she not know that shit is going up every day, and that we're in a global pandemic? People want jobs, people want to go to work, and yet you refusing to do one job, which is cut a promo in your own house. All you need is you could do it from your phone, just like they do from WWE used to do before. Hey guys, oh god. However,
it sounds like somebody else wants to be in a podcast too.
As I was saying, she's a scumbag. She'll probably fit right as well with WWE, like my man said over here. Unfortunately, because they don't give a shit about what people, It gotta be something like really, really, really bad. Like you got to like call, like you have to like touch someone or do something bad. But if you say something, it's all right because everyone's got a job. Hulk Hogan is still there. I can name a lot of other people, but we're not gonna do that. We got other things to talk about. But yeah, she's a scumbag, and I'm not looking forward to having her come out. So.
Hey, I mean, she does have talent. You know, you can sometimes look past the talent. You're gonna get good stuff if you're
Talented scumbag. That's wonderful.
That's what sucks the most here is that I would have loved to see Tessa in AEW with Young, but she sucks as a person. So no.
I feel like she would be much better over in AEW. I think her whole thing with Britt Baker would be awesome. I think that would be so awesome between the two. But she's a scumbag, and that she'll probably be at with WWE. I'm just to call about 10 times.
Top Guy JJ, what's your thoughts on Tessa's release when you first heard about it?
This is a culmination of all the stupid shit she's done. Like Tessa, thank you, Tessa, because you just epitomized setting women back for generations. Like you're like a company for the first time, a real company, not Lucha Underground or like a legit company, put their most prestigious title on you, and all you had to do was take notes from Tekashi 6ix9ine and to do a fucking video promo from your own fucking house. So you couldn't provide them a promo from your own house. And all you had to do was film the shit on your phone, IGTV quality, and mail it to them by email or WhatsApp or however the fuck you send a promo to these companies in HD quality, and that is it. Hit send and you don't have to work. All you have to do is put the fucking clothes on for a few minutes, send them a 60, 70-second vignette, and you're done. You're done with work.
She could have dressed the waist up. They wouldn't
notice.
notice.
You are the company's champion.
Just imagine how entitled you have to be as a person to argue with someone over pay or a 2-minute video.
You are the champion of an entire company.
Brand. Yep.
You are the champion. They took the chance and said, you know what? We are striving for equality, and we're going to put the belt on you despite your reputation, and we are taking a chance. And then you can't even pay them back by sending them a fucking video. Tessa has WWE written all over it. She's definitely going to the WWE, because first of all, when Oblivious meets Oblivious, that makes a magical pair, because them two are going to get together. Tessa's going to come back. She's going to come there. She is going to probably come as soon as Charlotte returns from her little selective surgery, and they'll have a magical program that no one is going to remember all the dumb shit and all the scumbagging and all the bullying that she's done from all the other shit that she's done. Like, we don't even have time to get into everything else that she's done. But that's all going to be forgotten about once she steps into a Raw, SmackDown, NXT, wherever the fuck Charlotte's going to be, because she's on every show. She might fucking pop up on fucking 205 Live because Charlotte might come back there. Like
you know what?
It literally, Tessa and WWE is a match that is just made for each other, because they're just two oblivious ass people and company and employee, and they're just going to be perfect for each other.
So I'll ask Jonathan this one. Do you feel like it's any type of black mark or any slight against Impact Wrestling on this situation? Impact.
I hate to say, I mean this in the most, in the nicest, most positive way I can say it. Impact is like a cockroach. You can't kill it. It doesn't what you do to Impact. All the black marks in the world, you can step on it a million times. Impact is a cockroach, and it's gonna live on forever. It's like, I think it'll be fine after this. On Sunday, their main event that only has X Division guys, but it's for a world championship. Nobody's gonna get mad at it. The people who still watch Impact, all 10 of them, they're gonna enjoy it.
Y'all call me shady.
Yo, my man Yo, them and ROH they're battling for those little couple indie viewers, man. Like they right there with each other, man. They right there. Yo, can I get my 7? Yo, I need my 8. Yo, come through.
It's only so much other wrestling pie that around. Like WWE and AEW split the market. Then you got the small little minority that think they're smarter, that just watch New Japan and doesn't watch the other two. And then there's even a smaller little minority that's for Impact, NWA, ROH, all these other places.
I don't know a person who's like I don't know an Impact fan personally. Like I don't know an proud Impact fan.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Jessica.
Impact.
Jessica.
Like, there you go. That's right. There's one.
Yeah.
That's 10% of the fan base right there. No.
Yeah.
You're right. It's rare. It's rare.
Listen.
Damn you, Tessa. Like, damn you.
It's messed up. I feel bad for TNA, honestly. They try hard. They really try hard. It's just like nobody.
She was the closest thing. She was the closest thing since Ronda Rousey. She was the closest thing since Ronda Rousey to strike that deep into the company. Like, Ronda elevated women to the main event status of WrestleMania. Tessa Blanchard became the first world champion to a major company. And then here you go. You do this. You just don't know how to fucking send a video, like a clip, because you don't want to. No reason, just because you don't want to.
I hate to get into conspiracies, but I don't know. What if she wanted out the contract? That'd be a nice way to do it.
I mean,
You fucking let your contract ride out.
It's a backhanded way to do it. Don't get me wrong.
Let your fucking contract run out. As SP said, her contract is going to be expiring prior to fucking Slammiversary. Let the shit ride out. Do your job.
No, it's a pretty good, accurate conspiracy there, honestly, because it's like no other reason for you to kind of just get into this type of dispute with somebody for a 2-minute promo. If you're the champion, you're a representative of the company. That means that you not wanting to do a 2-minute promo on your phone, that you need to negotiate a day rate to do a promo over your phone. It just shows a total lack of investment in the company. So, they invested in you, making you the first ever women's champion with a multitude of allegations against you at the time. Like, it was ridiculous. The risk that they took on you for her to do these things, it just shows a total lack of investment in the company, honestly.
Disrespectful. It's just disrespectful. Like, who else is going to take that investment on you now? Like, who else is going to do that?
There's only one game in town.
There's only one person, and it's Vinnie Mac, because he don't watch that shit called Impact. He has no idea what them bums are doing over there. All he knows about is what AEW is doing. Everybody else is irrelevant.
He's like, the only person that said a bad thing about her is that superhero guy y'all was so big on a couple of months ago before I buried him. I told you he wasn't unique. So everybody across the board thinks Tessa to WWE.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This is a slam dunk. This is slam dunk.
Slam dunk for what's next for Tessa Blanchard. But what is next for the WWE? We got to get to our next topic. It's more fallout from the positive test for WWE. So as we talked about on True Hill Heat 80, several WWE personalities, including Renee Young, Kayla Braxton, and Adam Pearce, had come out to admit that they had tested positive for the virus. Now, we have also known that Jamie Noble has also revealed that he has tested positive. Reportedly, WWE has advised talent and staff to not reveal if they have tested positive to the public. There was a mystery WWE employee who sent out an email detailing frustration with the company for them putting their talent and staff at risk and trying to control the narrative when it comes to the situation. It also revealed that WWE officials had not contacted to check on Renee Young as of yet. As of from when we're filming this right now, we still haven't heard word of that. WWE has also sent out a press release demanding that all talent in the crowd wear masks during their TV tapings, a new order that they just put in place this week. It was also reported that Tyson Kidd showed up
that
at...
they should have been doing.
Oh, it only took them 4 months. It only took them 4 months.
Mind you, they make masks.
Just 4 months. You know.
Crazy.
Like, we'll get to it. We'll watch the news once every season. Once a season.
It was also reported that Tyson Kidd showed up to the TV taping with a fever. He and Natalya were tested for the virus and came back negative, but both were sent home. At the point of this filming, we still do not have an official number of WWE staff and talent which has tested positive. While on the other hand, the NBA has just made national news with the number of positive tests, which some speculate is a lot less than WWE has right now. A number of talent were missing from this past week's tapings, including Mandy Rose and Liv Morgan and Sonya Deville, who could not appear due to going on a boat trip with Mandy's mom. True story. With the delays due to testing and not having certain talent present, including AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan on SmackDown, Randy Orton and Austin Theory on Raw, WWE has a new TV taping schedule. They taped NXT for the next 2 weeks on Wednesday. Thursday, they plan to film 2 episodes of SmackDown and 205 Live, which will then air on July 10th and 10th, respectively. Friday, July 3rd, the WWE will tape 2 episodes of Monday Night Raw, Main Event, and Raw Talk, which are slated to air on July 6th and the 13th. So what are your latest thoughts on the latest news coming out of WWE regarding their testing this week, Miss Christy Love?
It only took, like Jada said, it only took them 4 months to do all of this mess. You guys are selling masks. Why y'all not giving them? Y'all should have been had people with masks on inside. You can take the stupid glass down and put them and give them masks. It looks like a damn office building with a damn plexiglass and with everything all over the place. Them beating on that shit. It looks retarded. It looks so retarded, and I don't understand. How is it that this whole company now wants to now hurry up and make sure everyone is tested? Like people showing up the way. If you know you sick, don't come to work. Tyson and damn Natalya, foolishness. Don't spread that shit. Go somewhere and sit the hell down. Take your damn medicine. Fuck.
I can understand where you're coming from there. How about you, Jonathan? What's your thoughts?
I see. It's honestly mind-boggling how AEW, being the smaller company, can have so much better safety precautions, procedures than WWE has. That's a billion-dollar company. But I think it all comes down to Vince being a part of that older generation who thinks this is just a bad flu.
He's like his friend. He thinks that it's the Chinese virus, dumbass.
Exactly. You know who his friends were?
Not you. I'm not calling you a dumbass. I'm so sorry. My bad. I'm so sorry. Damn.
I'm used to it. It's all right. So yeah, there's a combination of that, and then all the people in the audience, and a lot of people who work in these shows being young and not really caring. I'm watching Mandy Rose's Instagram because it's a nice Instagram, and
I mean, her and Lana look like they're having a great time with each other. Just saying.
On yachts with all the divas, all the superstars together on a boat, like nothing is going on. I thought that was a little weird. So come to find out, they all might have COVID too. So it's kind of messed up. And I could just imagine someone like Daniel Bryan with a weak immune system. He might not even have it. He just might decide not to come in anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
it just
true.
seemed like the smart, especially with his wife being pregnant.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yep. People forget
Take
that.
a page out of Roman Reigns' book and stay your ass home with your pregnant wife. Just saying.
This whole thing is rude.
You stay at home for Saudi. You should stay at home for COVID.
Hello. Just well
saying.
said, friend. Well said.
I'm gonna put this up on the screen, right? And I'm just gonna swipe. I'm gonna swipe up, right? So
look at that shit.
This has been available on WWEshop.com for the past 3 fucking months.
Yep. Sure
3 months. So they're making all of this money off of these face masks, but none of their staff and employees are using them. And then your talent go, and they have masks for those specific superstars that decides to take these outlandish little trips. But they're gonna charge you $14 for the mask and charge you shipping and handling, but they can't wear the shit when it's free.
Preach.
So it's always super mind-boggling on how non-understanding they are of any situation that takes place until they're blasted for it. Like, yo, the NBA takes shit super seriously when they get 1 to 2 cases, and the only way you're gonna now take shit seriously when you got a flood pool of people that either can't make shows or they can't do something, or it affects your TV program. Because if it doesn't affect your TV program, they won't mention it because it don't matter. We can just replace y'all on TV. But
Taylor had it twice.
The fact that Renee Young has had this thing and they haven't even contacted her yet, just to
bullshit.
And we'll get to that later. But I just thank you, Taz.
Yeah.
Thank you, Taz. Calling they shit out that we don't run a sloppy show.
Ooh, I was like roasted.
They probably so they have had Jon Moxley take more tests than the WWE has contacted Renee Young.
And that's a fact.
There's nothing else to say about it. There's nothing else to elaborate.
Great way to put it. What do you guys think about the steps and the new measures that WWE is taking now that they have
it's too late. It's too late. What do you mean?
What measures? Them shits are statements. Them shits aren't measures. Them shits are PR statements. Them shits ain't measures.
Yep, 100%. It's a fucking PR statement. It's none of this shit matters to them. We're gonna do it because you caught us. Oh, my bad. You know, like that's all it is.
Yo, that's like their steroids allegations back in the 80s and 90s, yo. Only time they even admit it is when they get caught. No one, as soon as they off the news, them needles is going right back in their fucking arms.
That reminds me of The Rock's daughter on Twitter calling the email guy a snitch.
It's embarrassing, yo.
It is. What the fuck?
He can snitch all he wants to, but he trying to make sure y'all niggas is safe and getting the proper shit that y'all need. So you can be a snitch all you want to be.
I really like her Twitter account sometimes. Like, oh, she shows like a level of maturity, and then I saw that, and I was just like, wow, you just took like 4 steps back.
Well, she's like 19 or something like that. She's still young, friend. Like, you know.
Yeah. You know. Sometimes they gotta prove their age, you know.
Right.
Yo, honestly, this is why we need WWE in our life. Like, there's no other company that's gonna be this stupid. Like, no one else. Everybody else is gonna find. They're the only ones that's gonna provide us this type of golden idiocity. Like, they're the only.
Very true.
They're the only ones that's gonna do it.
How many people in WWE right now are like looking at AEW right now like a nice place to work at, considering how they're treating their employees? You know.
Looking over at the girl at the other table right now.
How do you think Renee Young feels?
Yo,
they have probably contacted Moxley about Renee Young's health more than the company that she fucking works for.
It works for, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a sad but true state, but we gotta talk more about AEW versus WWE when we talk about the week 37 of the Wednesday Night War. This is some of you guys' favorite part of the show where we break down the ratings for the Wednesday Night War between WWE NXT and AEW Dynamite, told you what happened on both shows, and then decide what was the better show for the week. If you don't enjoy our perspective on it, you can check out Wednesday Night Warriors as Chris G and Romeo decide what was the better show for the week, and I'll be starring on this week's episode, so definitely check that out. Drum roll, please, Miss Chrissy Love. So for week 37 of the Wednesday Night War, we have AEW Dynamite with 748,000 viewers. 2. WWE NXT with 792,000 viewers. NXT defeats AEW back-to-back
Yo,
week.
it's literally because it's the Great American Bash. They Great American Bashed them.
WWE NXT had Io Shirai defeating Sasha Banks in a really good main event matchup with the help of Asuka. We had Tegan Nox wins the Fatal 4-Way to become the new #1 contender for the NXT Women's title. We had Santo Escobar's crew will now be known as El Legado del Fantasma. We had Thatcher and Lorgan in a hard-hitting affair. We had Loomis defeat Strong in a strap match. Over on AEW Dynamite, AEW Fyter Fest Night 1, we had Hangman and Omega defeat the Best Friends to defend the AEW World Tag Team titles, and then FTR offered them a beer afterwards, which causes a confrontation between Hangman and Omega. Cody beat Hager to defend the TNT Championship. Private Party defeated Proud and Powerful. Jurassic Express defeated MJF and Wardlow, and Moxley versus Cage has been moved to Fight for the Fallen, which will be in 2 weeks' time. So, AEW Dynamite, aka AEW Fyter Fest Night 1 versus NXT Great American Bash Night 1. Who do you think was the better show? We'll start with our special guest, Jonathan.
I always feel bad answering a question like this because my personal taste and preference is always going to make me choose AEW. Like I'm have more fun watching Dynamite than I am watching NXT. Like going into NXT sometimes feels like homework for me, but it's pleasant as it goes on. Like, okay, well that was fun, but that's not always the case. This week was fine. Both. I thought both shows were fun, and I thought the ratings show. I thought because AEW bounced back like a motherfucker. What were they like 600 something thousand last week?
633 last week. Yeah,
lowest they've ever had. So that was huge. But I feel like NXT deserved what they got. I'm not mad about the numbers. Okay.
They had a good main event, so that was going to draw, especially with Sasha being on all these shows. So
Sasha versus Io, I'm not gonna lie. I almost was like, I'm just watching NXT for that, but then I remember there's other things I have to get through first. So I'll get to it.
That's the hard part sometimes. How about you, top guy JJ? What was the better show for you this week?
Oh my God! So AEW got Great American Bash, huh? So they got hit with a pay-per-view. So props to NXT for winning, but I'm just saying, like, if I gave NXT the nod, it would only be for one reason, and that would be for the motherfucking outfit of Sasha Banks. God damn! That, like, Sasha Banks was money. Whoa, Sasha's been on a fucking roll. Sasha has been on a fucking roll. Her and Bayley are the best things going in WWE, period, right now, in my opinion.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
So that heavy main event, that was a really solid match with Io Shirai. The interaction with her and Asuka was really nice. But as a whole, AEW to me was the better show. I think AEW was the better show. Like, we had some surprise outcomes. I was really surprised that the Jurassic Express beat MJF and Wardlow. I was really surprised about that outcome. And, yo, come on, man. I'd be pissed off, too, if I was Hangman at the end of the night, man. Yo, if you don't want the beer, get a shit to me, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like why you going to waste the beer? Like, why you going to waste the beer? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, yo?
They should have known he's straight edge.
He's straight edge. Don't give the beer to your fucking partner. I'm your partner. Give me the beer. I want it. How you going to spill all that good alcohol? Fuckface. Now I'm mad at you, stupid.
Omega Hangman.
I love Hangman's reaction. Like, the fuck you doing, yo? Like, yo, you wasting beer. Like, that shit had me tight, yo. You know what I mean? You get straight edge. That's cool. Don't drink it. Give it to me. Yep. I'll have it for both of us. You gonna spill it on the ring for what? What kind of message you sending? Wasting some good ass alcohol. That shit ain't no bottle of water. That's just some good alcohol. But AEW just knows how to deliver across the board a solid show. NXT was really, really good. So I'm proud that NXT has had a solid couple of shows here. It's been really nice.
Yeah.
But AEW had me locked in for pretty much from start to finish. Like, it was really just a solid night overall. Like, Cody has been delivering some really, really good matches. So he's been doing pretty well with that. He's been making them feel like some big fights. So and I'm proud that he's been able to do that.
I thought this was the weakest TNT championship match.
Yeah.
I thought this Dynamite. I thought this edition of Dynamite was on a high for the first 45 minutes to 15 minutes with the first two matches, and then it kind of evened out, starting with the Cody match. And then it just became, like I said on All Elite recap with Jimmy and Cash, that most Dynamites, especially the last 6 to 7 weeks, are an 8 out of 10 or higher. This one started off looking like it was going to be a 10 out of 10 and then evened out to an 8.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, and I like the tag match between the Best Friends and Omega. I like I said, a good main event, a really good main event always really does a trick for me. But I will honestly give the nod. Like, NXT's event felt like an event, and AEW's show felt like just a strong episode of Dynamite. Like that. I mean, that's just how I felt from it. Like, I didn't feel like it was Fyter Fest night 1. I just didn't feel it. I didn't feel it.
I felt it. Honestly, I felt it.
Yeah.
Like maybe they'd have had more dressing out of different color ropes. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, listen.
I felt it because it was less promos and vignettes. Yeah. It was all about the matches. NXT just felt forced. It felt forced to make it seem like it was something other than a regular episode of NXT. I was like, what the fuck are the cars doing there? I was like, that's an obvious taped on NXT sign on the Great American Bash poster. I caught it way before they exposed it online. I was like, that's the WWE Great American Bash poster, I'm pretty sure. I was like, I hope they made a new one. And then I noticed the scratch off that they taped on the NXT.
I still don't get the cars. Did they, like, what was the...
Yeah, it's too much. Like you said, yeah.
Why were they there? Were they going on a race? Like, I'm confused.
To finish the thing is, like, it felt like, just because it felt like a different show doesn't make it a better show. Like, it didn't feel like a better show. Like, I feel like a great episode of Dynamite to me is still better than NXT can put on a solid show, because AEW Dynamite, their bar is just so goddamn high when it comes to weekly television programming. As SP said, if you get a decent match, shit tampers down because their bar is all the way up here. Like, AEW is the gold standard of Wednesday nights right now. And if they have any type of slip-ups, you're kind of like, oh, this is not what I'm used to. I'm used to shit good. I'm used to great shit for 2 hours, not no middle shit. That's some WWE level shit.
Miss Chrissy Love, what was the better show for you this week?
If I didn't know that it was they had like special shows, I wouldn't know. I thought they were just regular episodes, no shade. Like, they had the different color ropes they had the 2 cars, which I didn't understand. Like, I was like, oh, this is something special. Okay, I just thought it was a regular episode. But anywho, I had liked both episodes. Both episodes were great. I just like elements from different shows. Like, I love Chris Jericho on commentator is freaking gold. Like, he is. Golden. Did you see his jacket? Freaking awesome.
Canada Day.
Like, between his jacket and Sasha Banks' outfit, I marked out for everything. Like, I was like, oh my god. Like, the strap match was good. It was too freaking long, but good. I don't know why my boo had to, be in those tight pants and get slapped on, but he could slap me anytime. Then, you can't waste alcohol. Like, just give it to me. Like, I would have drank it. I'm not a beer drinker, so I would have gladly offered it to you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't drink beer, but if someone offers it to me, I'm gonna say, no, thank you. You can have it. I'm not gonna pour it out and waste it. That's money. People collect bottle cans. Unemployment is high. Like, people, like, come on, like, what's wrong with y'all?
Fucking Omega, yo.
They were being dicks. They know he's straight edge.
Omega, yo.
They know he's straight edge.
Give this shit to his partner.
No, they could have gave both of them to Hangman.
No,
They wanted to be
They could have
dicks.
gave it both to him. Yeah.
They wanted to be dicks and give it to the straight edge guy.
So then be a bigger dick and just hand the beer off.
No,
But,
he was a bigger dick. He poured this shit out.
No, you're gonna piss your partner off. No, you're pissing me off now. Like we go to a show, and you're the straight edge one, and they hand you a fucking beer. I expect you to gift that shit to me. I don't expect you to spill it out because you want to make a statement. Now,
or waste it and have it just sit there and open and whatnot. I'm not gonna do that.
you're wasting it. What the fuck for?
We don't waste things here. Stuff costs money.
So what do you say was better, Chrissy?
I would give it to. I like both shows, but if I have to pick one, I guess it would be AEW for the win. Yes.
All right, so I have to be the contrarian here. We got AEW across the board. Usually, I wouldn't say I really enjoyed both shows. Both shows.
That's what I said. But you had made me pick one. I didn't want to pick one.
Both shows were really, really good, and I probably would rank both shows an 8 out of 10. But in the case of a tie, you always go with the underdog. So I gotta go with NXT Great American Bash because I did not expect that much from it because it was so thrown together on a week's schedule, basically just them throwing stuff together. But Io Shirai versus Sasha Banks was great.
Awesome.
The opening Fatal 4-Way was very clunky at the start, but I loved it when it came down to Tegan Nox versus Dakota Kai. I loved the Thatcher versus Lorcan match. That was a slap fest and two guys just wrestling for wrestlers' sake. I love that type of stuff. Love those type of matches. I even like the difference in the comedy. Hey, buddy. I even like the difference in the comedy match with Rhea Ripley and Robert Stone. I've been hit or miss with Robert Stone segments, but I enjoyed that. I loved the contribution of my boy Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes.
Cameron Confident Grimes. Cameron Confident Grimes.
He's going right to the top. He's challenging for the number one contendership. Bye-bye. Yeah. Yes.
I love him. I didn't know I was a fan until like lately. Like he is awesome on the mic. I love him.
Loomis versus Roderick Strong was good, but way too long, and that finish was clunky as hell with Roderick trying to moonwalk into Loomis to have that final shot of him standing behind him. That was just awkward. NXT, you don't need those type of things.
You don't.
And I was very confused by Breezango coming out to help out Drake Maverick because I thought Jake Atlas was his friend. I was like,
same. Okay, I forgot. I didn't really want to speak about it because I thought it was stupid, and I didn't really want to give it any type of like air shine or anything like that. So that's why I didn't say nothing. But
you gotta call that shit out, boo boo. You gotta call that shit out.
Gotta call everything out. AEW was great as well. I loved everything. I loved every match. But the one match I gotta highlight that no one here has mentioned so far was my match of the entire night. I gave on Wednesday Night Warriors my match of the night to Best Friends versus Hangman and Omega. But I retracted that on All Elite Recap. The match of last night was Hikaru Shida versus Penelope Ford. For the
yes,
AEW
absolutely, yes.
Penelope Ford had the coming out party of 2020.
I feel so bad because I stepped out and I didn't know what I didn't step out.
I was really sorry. Shida has been putting on some fantastic matches for AEW with multiple opponents. So props to Shida because her AEW run
the women's division since she became champion.
Yeah, because she is legitimizing that title run and these matches for her championship and just the matches she's involved in. Shida is putting in some work. She is putting in some work, and I love it. And props to Penelope, as you said. But props to Penelope, as you said. But Shida has been the workhorse for the women for AEW, which has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I will get your guys' predictions for the next two nights of NXT Great American Bash and AEW Fyter Fest. We'll go through these very quickly. So we got for NXT Great American Bash Night 2, we got Mercedes Martinez making her return. I won't get any prediction on that because we don't know who she's versing. But the first big matchup for Great American Bash will be Street Fight, as it's going to be Mia Yim going one-on-one with Candice LeRae. These two ladies have been feuding for the last couple of months, so this is, I think, their big blow-off match here. Who you got, Chrissy?
I'm sick of seeing these two fight. Sorry. But I'm going to go with Miss Yim for the win.
Top guy, JJ?
I'm so on board with Chrissy on this one. I hope Mia gets it. I hope Mia gets it because she's been taking too many big losses.
Yes.
Like she lost like mad easily in the Fatal 4-Way match. She's just been taking losses like crazy. I'm going Mia Yim. I'm going with the HBIC. Yes, I'm going with Mia Yim.
Jonathan, who you got?
I had to give it to Mia Yim, if only because I can't believe that they would have given her all this TV time just a bit. Okay, let me rephrase that. I can't believe that they would have given her after all this TV time they gave her, but I don't want to see that. So I hope Mia Yim takes it. But honestly, I hate what they've done with Candice LeRae anyway. So yeah,
that's a fair thing to say.
I gotta go with the angry pixie here. I feel like they gotta do something with the heel turn of Candice and Johnny, and she needs a big win here. So I think that Candice gets the victory here. So we got next up, 6-man tag team action is gonna be El Legado del Fantasma, Santos Escobar, the NXT Cruiserweight Champion, and Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde versus Drake Maverick and Breezango. Who you got, Jonathan?
Whatever team El Ligero del Fantasma, Santos del Rio, Estrada, Martinez is on, I'm gonna go with him. Honestly, I don't see like why they're struggling so hard to find an identity for this guy. It's very simple. Cool mask. Easy name, he gets over. What are we doing?
well, he's too handsome to be wearing a mask. I will give them that. But I just wish he would have played both characters. He would have been Santos Escobar and El Hilo del Fantasma. He would have played both characters, and then they lead up to the big reveal that he's both of them. That would have been played more of a better story to me.
I mean, but you're giving them too much credit now. Something like that has to get approved.
Yeah, that has to be thought about.
Also true.
Not just put on a whim at 2 hours before the show. I'm gonna go with that bullshit team of Drake Maverick and Breezango because I see Drake Maverick getting a rematch for the Cruiserweight Championship. So I'm going to see Drake Maverick pinning Santos Escobar on some bullshit. Because this is just how WWE books their shows. And there'll be a rematch between Maverick and this guy. And it won't mean anything because then Maverick is going to lose again.
Who do you got, Chrissy?
Estrada, Martinez, Escobar, Rios, Garcia, them, handsome. So don't put a mask on that.
Yeah, really disrespecting this man. I'm going with El Legado del Fantasma, and in the main event,
everything I just said.
in the main event, winner takes all NXT Championship and North American Championship matchup. It's gonna be Keithley versus Adam Cole. If you guys are looking forward to this matchup, please stay away from all social media, or it may be ruined for you. That's all I will warn you. But who you got? I'm not gonna predict this one because
please tell me.
Without
you saw it already?
What do you think they're gonna do to that guy? Because they found who it was, right? It was the dude from Indushire.
Yeah, from Indushire.
So what do they do with this guy? Like, you can't just. That was ridiculous.
Malcolm Bivens probably got the look that Top Guy JJ has right now. Like, he's probably tight. Like, he was like, yo, we were about to be the NXT Tag Team Champions. Like, damn.
I would have appreciated that, like the unspoiled going into next week's match unspoiled, honestly. So,
Wait, you've been
but
spoiled too?
with this, I hate to go into this conspiracy
Just
stuff.
say it if you've been spoiled, because you're a dirt sheet follower. Just say it if you've been spoiled too.
Oh, I've been spoiled. I got it spoiled.
Fuck's sakes, man.
I've seen it. I can't give my opinion on what's going on, but I
So
can
half the panel knows the fucking result already.
Triple H leaked them shits on his own. Like, that dude knows how to work the shit.
Are you serious?
I think so. I think that it's not going to be that much heat on Indusher, because one thing we have found out since January 4th, 1999, that whenever a title change is teased or spoiled, people tune in to see the title change. So I think that Triple H will have no problem with this guy from Indusher putting it out, because I am calling it now. NXT will make it 3 weeks in a row winning the ratings war.
Especially since AEW has no big. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm excited to see Jericho versus Orange Cassidy too, but that's not as big as a double title match. You know,
Right. Winner take all.
You know, like NXT takes the win next week for sure. Especially now, like for sure.
Chrissy Love, who you got? Keithley versus Adam Cole.
I definitely think that Adam Cole will win. I don't know. Like, I want to find out what you guys are talking about, because I need to know it. So, yeah. But
all we will tell you is that there's an actual finish. So we will see a title change. Whether that's the North American or whether that's the NXT Championship, we will not spoil that for the viewers at home.
That's honestly the big surprise, that there's an actual finish here.
Yeah, because some people did not believe there would be a finish to this matchup. So we do know there is a finish.
Okay. I'm going to go with Adam. Baby.
Adam Cole, baby. Who you got, top guy, JJ?
I am definitely going with NXT is going to absolutely smash AEW in the ratings next week, because Keithley, I believe, is going to become the new NXT champion.
You think
listen, man, if you're that eager to get results out on the internet, it's got to be for a fucking reason. Like, and that's just how I'm feeling. And I don't want to know what happened, and I'm not even going to look for it. I don't want to. I hope I just get to enjoy it and not see shit before Wednesday. But if people are that eager, I hope it's because that it would be Keith Lee that would become the new NXT champion. Because Adam Cole's been champion forever. Adam Cole's been champion since fucking NXT began, basically. I mean, yo, it is time for some new adventures, yo. It is time for things to shake up a little bit. Like, Keith Lee ain't got no business going to the E right now, going to the main roster. Adam Cole and the Undisputed Era has a lot of business to do on the other brands, because they're running out of people to battle in NXT. There's nothing else for them to do over there. I see a perfect time to move on and start some shit in the WWE and take over one of these brands. Keith Lee, please, for the win.
Okay, so we got AEW Fyter Fest Night 2. We'll start from the bottom to the top. We got SCU versus Brody Lee, Colt Cabana, and Stu Grayson of the Dark Order. This is all about the Brody Lee trying to recruit Colt Cabana into the Dark Order. Who you got, Miss Chrissy Love? Dark Order? Who you got, Jonathan?
Yes,
I got Dark Order, but I hope this is it I hope Cabana does the turn. Like, I'm honestly, I'm tired of getting strung along again. Like, it's either gonna happen or it's not. And if it doesn't happen, this was all a waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
Just show us the gimmick. You know.
I think there's enough meat on the bone for them to continue it after this. Who you got, top guy, JJ?
I definitely see the Dark Order taking this one. I mean, SCU's been off. They've been on and off TV, so inconsistent for a while. The Dark Order has been on there every week, building a story and making something relevant. I hope it is Dark Order.
I agree with you guys. Dark Order wins this one. We got Lance Archer, the Murder Hawk, going one-on-one with the bad boy, Joey Janela. I'm going with Lance Archer in this one. Who you got, top guy JJ?
The fuck? Yo, this is like Lance Archer is gonna throw this guy everywhere. Like, yeah. I mean, Lance Archer.
Who you got, Jonathan?
I can honestly see. First of all, I can see Janela not getting straight up buried after weeks of being on TV and having promos and stuff.
Yeah.
My reflex answer is Lance Archer, but I wouldn't be surprised if Joey Janela pulled up the roll up, schoolboy, pull the tights win.
Yep. That's what I'm saying, Joey Janela. I'm thinking that.
You're all on board for the Joey Janela push.
I'm
Yep.
on board.
I'm not.
If Sonny and Joey make that happen.
I'm not.
Make that happen.
I love me some Sonny and Joey, but I feel like this is to get heat on Archer, so that's why I went with Archer. We got Nyla Rose in action to be announced there, but this one is one of the bigger matches on the card, as it will be the team of FTR with the Young Bucks versus the Butcher, the Blade, and the Lucha Bros. This is going to be crazy. This is going to be insane. This is going to be a tag team masterpiece. Who you got, Jonathan?
Oof, I probably the FTR and the Young Bucks, obviously. I'm more interested in the match itself and the story that we're going forward with afterwards. Because it looks like we're doing FTR Young Bucks off the back, honestly.
I think we're gonna wait till there's fans in the building. I think they're teasing this three-way with Hangman and Omega because they want to wait for that FTR Bucks match in front of fans.
The one thing about the FTR Bucks match that I know for a fact is it's gonna be a title match. Like, I have no doubt that one of those two teams will have beat Omega and Hangman by the time we get the singles match. But I really thought they were gonna pull that, save that for All Out. Mad fans or no fans, I feel like you really can't string that one along for too long. I mean you can if you know how to, but I don't know that they do.
I think they do. They did a good job of stringing things along with Cody and MJF for as long as they did. I just think that they're building up this three-way match because they don't want to give us FTR and the Young Bucks until it's front of fans, because they will sell any building out with that match alone. Who you got, Miss Chrissy Love?
I have FTR winning their first match, so I think they're definitely going. Okay, they can't lose.
Well, this is their third match with the company. Yeah. This is their first time teaming with the Young Bucks, though.
Okay, they're gonna win though.
Who you got, top guy JJ?
FTR and the Young Bucks ain't going into this big rivalry with losses. This is an easy win.
Unanimous. I am going with FTR and the Young Bucks as well. This is the most anticipated matchup of the summer, as it will be the baddest man on the planet, OC Orange Cassidy, going one-on-one with La Champion, Chris Jericho. Who you got, Miss Chrissy Love?
This is hard. I'm very excited to see this match. However, I don't see Cassidy winning. I feel like Chris is going to take this one.
Fair enough. Who you got, top guy JJ?
These are the matches that creates the superstars. Orange Cassidy will have an amazing showing in a losing effort. These are where the important losses come in. Chris Jericho will win because it's his namesake, but Orange Cassidy will show out.
Who you got, Jonathan?
Chris Jericho is the guy who got pinned by Fandango at WrestleMania because he thought it was a good idea.
This is the WWE. You talking about? Get the WWE out of your head.
But this was Chris Jericho. Again, who thought he could make a start.
But it was his decision. He's right. It was Jericho's decision. It wasn't Vince's.
I agree.
WWE Fandango afterwards. That's them. If he trusts AEW enough to carry Orange Cassidy forward from here, I don't think Chris Jericho has a problem losing.
Yeah.
Problem seeing Chris Jericho lose here. Orange Cassidy, as fun as it is to see him have these amazing performances and then lose, you risk kind of making him into like Scotty too hot. You like
Oh, that's I highly. I gotta jump in on that one.
if you want to make money with Orange Cassidy, it can't be the same. It can't be the same shit every show. We already did this twice now. Oh, he has fun. He's so cool now. Look, he's not a slug. Oh, he lost. How many times?
They only did it once with the pack match.
Orange Cassidy has been better at any
six-man tag. We've already exposed, okay, he's not a slug. Like, this is level 1. First, you thought he was a slug. What can this guy do? Now we see what he can do, but he keeps losing. When are we going to take this to the next level? Unless you just want him to be make hard comedy forever.
I feel like this rivalry has kind of took him to the next level because they fleshed out his character, and they explained that his character just tries to get people into a false sense of security, and then he can just turn it on at any point. And when he does turn it on, he could compete with the first ever AEW World Champion, and he can lay him out.
So if he loses, then all that looks stupid, and it proves that doesn't work.
Orange Cassidy is too good for
Orange.
I don't think that's how Orange Cassidy is. He's
the story that you're telling, where this is to lull people into a sense of security, and then that works because now he can compete with the champion. Like, if he doesn't win, then no, it doesn't work. Then now this character has to go back to the drawing board, and thinking really logically, this strategy that he's been using all this time has now been proven not to work because he keeps losing.
Well, he's only lost once. He's only lost one big singles match. It's not like it's not like Darby. I can see you making this argument for Darby Allin. Darby Allin maybe has taken too many L's in time AEW. But Orange Cassidy has one loss at Revolution. I don't think another loss is gonna ruin the whole facade around his character.
No, I just think we're staying. If he loses again, we've hit a plateau and we're not going anywhere with him. I feel like if you want to move on, if you want to do more things with Orange Cassidy from here, unless he's just a filler feud until the Mike Tyson thing, if they can get that to happen. But if you want to move forward with Orange Cassidy, if you want to progress, I think he has to win here. If you don't, then it doesn't matter if he loses because he'll just be Orange Cassidy and we'll all love the hype anyway.
Here's the thing with Orange Cassidy is that Orange Cassidy doesn't need wins because of how his character is right now. Orange Cassidy is such a big character for AEW. He's catapulted into this main event status with Chris Jericho. If Orange Cassidy defeats Chris Jericho, next step for Orange Cassidy is AEW Championship.
Yeah,
you're catapulting him so fast that it's gonna feel so rushed. So him taking a loss in a great match with Chris Jericho can help the slow build of Orange Cassidy because, as SP said, Orange hasn't lost that much. So Chris Jericho's main event status is relying on wins and losses. He's got to stay in that picture. If Chris Jericho keeps taking big losses, his matches are going to become less relevant.
Well, like you guys said, if he wins, it's going to be forced. If he shows his wrestling capabilities, and Chris Jericho is gonna he's gonna let that nigga perform his ass off.
Exactly.
And he's gonna be the star of that match, even though he lost. He's gonna be the one that actually wins because you know what? Chris Jericho helped push him to the next level, help make him get to the next bar where he's gonna go fight other people. Yeah, Darby Allin, on the other hand, he needs a win.
Darby Allin, I can see costing Cage his match and then having the Cage feud. That's the thing is that the problem with that is that he can't beat Cage. Unless,
I mean, apples to oranges, friend.
Yeah, that's a totally different story over there.
Right.
I just feel that they have done the work where Orange Cassidy has been elevated through his feuding with Chris Jericho. And I feel that the more underlining, bigger story, more subtle story that they're not hitting us over the head with is it's Chris Jericho versus this next generation. He's beating Scorpio Sky. He's beaten Darby Allin. He's gone to a draw with Jungle Boy. Now he's been time and time again upset by Orange Cassidy, and then he barely gets by Orange Cassidy. I feel like the next young star that Chris Jericho goes up against, that's when we should be like, no, this guy has to beat Jericho now. This is the guy that has to be, regardless of who he is. It might not even be any of the guys we just named, who I feel are established enough to beat Jericho. Honestly, the guy I think for this underlying story is the next generation star to finally beat Jericho. He might have ruined it, but it's Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara needs to be that young star.
He's supposed to have been.
Because JJ's right. Whoever that young star is that beats Jericho, they're going straight to the world title after Jericho. So you can't with Orange Cassidy. Let's be real. I love Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy's one of the more over guys in professional wrestling. He's the biggest rising star of 2020, in my opinion. But is he ready for the AEW world title?
My biggest thing is, do you want to, like, I don't want to see Orange Cassidy be ruined. There's many, many points in wrestling history where a person has hit this level of popularity and then they drop the ball because nobody knows what to do next. So yeah, and normally you'd see WWE do something where like he beat the top guy, we're gonna make him a main event star now, and then he'll win the fucking title, or he won't win the title, he'll chase it, and it'll be cool till he chases it, then he loses, we never see him again. And sometimes we're a little PTSD from watching WWE all these years.
Absolutely.
I like to think AEW's getting handle things a little differently. So I don't know.
I would just use one example. I would just use one example for you. My man over here, Top Guy JJ, he was very, very upset when Hangman Page lost that All Out to Chris Jericho. Even though he knew Jericho was the right decision, he thought that it was bad for Hangman at the time. And I did as well. A lot of people thought it was bad for Hangman at the time. Now we hear almost a year later, and Hangman's more over than he was. Way more.
He did that cowboy shit, bro. Like, he did that cowboy shit that changed his life. It should change his life.
Me personally, I wasn't behind Hangman when he fought Jericho for the title. Anyway, I didn't think he was. I didn't think he was nowhere near ready. So like, I definitely understand though. If that's the way you see Orange Cassidy, then I can see it. I just feel like there's something here, and if it's lightning in a bottle. If you wait too long, you lose it. If you do it fast, you lose it too. So
I would rather Orange Cassidy lose to Chris Jericho and a great match of Orange Cassidy showing than Orange Cassidy winning a match with Chris Jericho and it does not deliver to what we know he's capable of. Like,
I just feel like the story of Orange Cassidy is kind of tethered to Best Friends, and what we've seen with Best Friends is they haven't won the big one yet. And that needs to be the similar story with Orange Cassidy, because I feel like the perfect first ever AEW Trios champions is Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends. And that needs to be their big win.
I'm scared of a Trios title in AEW. If only because
I hope that doesn't happen.
Because there's like, oh, well, look, there's three-man factions. Why don't we have a title? And then the factions break up. There's no more factions. So one team holds the belt until people forget it's a belt. It's the same thing every single time. So I just almost want to.
I could go without the trio champions my damn self. I could definitely go without that title.
I might be spoiled because I watched some AAA. I will agree with Jonathan. New Japan has not done it well. ROH has done it horribly, but I feel like places like AAA is what AEW is going to be looking after. So we just got to run through a couple of other news points before we wrap things up. NXT UK was under fire this week. A lot of people speculating that it may be closed down for shop. They had a conference call this week to kind of cool those rumors, as well as they announced that they have suspended Joe Coffey for allegations regarding the speaking out movement. And WWE says that they will have a no tolerance policy when it comes to allegations as such. Former WWE Spanish announcer Hugo Savenage has revealed that he is a part of the lawsuit that we discussed on the last episode, a couple episodes ago, regarding the Saudi Arabia TV deal, because he reported that the WWE talent was held hostage in Saudi Arabia. Hugo says that WWE is trying to tarnish his credibility, and WWE has already filed a motion to dismiss this lawsuit as well. Fightful Select Fightful Select reports that Kyrie Zane has a very complicated status with WWE as of now. Reports in May came in that Kyrie was being sent to Japan to be a WWE ambassador there, which would have affected her in-ring career. She is still recovering from that huge cut that she got in her match with Nia Jax. Do you guys miss Kyrie Zane?
I'm always gonna miss Kyrie Zane, but I haven't seen her since NXT, so.
I do. It's just right. It's kind of at a timing where it feels like Asuka is starting to hit a stride as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the double-edged sword effect. Yeah, like if Kyrie comes back, does it help or hurt Asuka?
Right.
So WWE reportedly is still planning on running live events with audience by the end of the summer. However, they held plans to run an event in Florida due to the spike in cases that has now been delayed, as well as they do not know where this year's SummerSlam will take place. Spectrum Sports reporter John Alba reports that, according to his sources, sexual allegations from the Speaking Out movement has caused WWE to pull a developmental contract from a young independent talent. That name has not been revealed as of yet. Maria Kanellis has been vocal this week, expressing frustrations with WWE releasing her during a pandemic and revealing that Mike Kanellis was going to be the father in the Who's Maria Kanellis Baby Daddy storyline back last year on Monday Night Raw, which would have led to his babyface turn. AEW news: Brian Pillman
Thank God
Jr.
for them getting fired.
That would have been horrible.
Thank God for that.
Well, you know.
'Cause I didn't want to see that shit.
Yo, pitches like that would get you fired.
Hey, to each his own. Brian Pillman Jr. and Faye Jackson were seen in the crowd this week on Dynamite. And last week, former NXT talent Cesar Bononi was in the crowd during the AEW Dynamite as well. You can't miss Brian Pillman Jr.'s mullet anywhere. That's how I was able to catch him. The latest on Jon Moxley is that he has tested a few times for the virus, all coming back as negative. He and Renee are staying on opposite ends of their house to socially distance because he doesn't want to stay at a hotel because he doesn't want to leave his wife alone. Moxley has also tested himself during the week to make sure he is good to go to return to AEW in 2 weeks to defend his title at Fight for the Fallen. NWA news: with the news of allegations against the head of NWA Creative, Dave Lagana, production for Carneyland and NWA Power has been put on hold, and they are restructuring things in the company. Impact Wrestling has made a lot of news this week. They had our top news story, as well as this week, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows have all but been confirmed to sign with the company, according to Gary Cassidy of Sportskeeda, and confirmed by Uncle Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer newsletter. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows were released a part of the Black Wednesday releases, but they've been highly rumored to be one of these rumored releases that will appear at Impact Slammiversary. Including this week on Impact Wrestling, there was a tease that Super Eric will return, as Eric Young will return to Impact Wrestling, or at least they teased that on this week's edition. And then finally, our other wrestling news, a bit of sad wrestling news, as the mother of Hana Kimura, the late great star of Stardom, who passed away, committed suicide at the young age of 22 earlier this year, has came out and discussed details regarding her daughter's suicide, saying that the incident on the Terrace House reality show, which led to all the cyberbullying Hana received, was a stage by the producers of the show, who wanted Hana to play up a heel role, even motivating her or pressuring her to slap the hat off of her castmate, which caused all that cyberbullying, which caused her to take away her life. And then finally, to bring more light from this final wrestling news, we have the I would like to call them, we have the jabronis, the Joyce and Jabronis. There's a new edition up on the YouTube channel. We have the jabronis of the week on Wednesday Night Warriors, but I think the jabronis of 2020 in the professional wrestling world should be Low Key and Austin Aries, as this week they went on Twitter rants making their feelings known about not wanting to wear masks in public, even Low Key going as far as saying that is it a violation of his rights that to be told to wear a mask in public, that it is his life and he shouldn't be liable for anybody else's health and safety. Miss Chrissy Love, what are your thoughts on Low Key and Austin Aries' thoughts?
I don't know what to say about idiots. I mean, I don't want to get it. You want to get it? Go right ahead. Keep that shit over there. You don't want to wear a fucking mask and stay over there with all those damn people that's down there and be sick. Like you I don't understand. I'm gonna just.
Yo, idiots like that need bosses like Vince McMahon. Like that's literally like idiots like that they need employers like Vince McMahon. Like they would fit perfectly into that world, because you know what? It is Vince McMahon's right to run shows with crowds in it while we have a pandemic.
And they'll have to get tested and don't wear masks.
But we can sell them on our website and make thousands of dollars from it. But yeah, we don't fucking have to wear them because fuck the world.
We're in a closed space. We don't count towards that. Jonathan, what's your thoughts on Aries and Low Key?
Part of me is not even surprised. Look at who we're talking about. Like, we're talking about Austin Aries, Low Key. They're notoriously stupid men who've burned every bridge in their past and they are where they are now because of the way that they think. Of course, somebody like Low Key, this fucking super narcissist, would think that we're infringing on his rights by asking him to be courteous enough to wear a fucking piece of cloth over his face. And that guy tries to come up with crazy pseudoscience that, like, I'm almost ashamed. Isn't he, like, fucking Spanish from Brooklyn or some shit?
Yes, he is.
Fred from
He is. He's not from Brooklyn. He's not. We've disowned him.
No, he's definitely from Brooklyn. That's all you guys. That's all you guys. No, sorry.
Wow.
And if Austin Aries is stupid enough to lose out on Zelina Vega, he's dumb enough to say anything. So I ain't surprised about his stupid ass.
Exactly.
I'm both of them catching L's for this week.
Absolutely.
I just can't. I can't.
So, Jonathan, we want to wrap things up. Before we get to our outro, we got to ask you about Dirt Sheet Radio. You guys started a podcast last year, as well as a Facebook page. You guys are up to date on all the professional wrestling world news. But tell the people about, like, your podcast, the podcast version, your co-hosts on there, and what you guys are usually discussing.
So Dirt Sheet Radio initially just kind of started out as a way for 3 different viewpoints to get together and discuss what's going on in wrestling. Me being I guess I had 3 hosts. One is a WWE fan, one is a super smart guy. I try to ride the middle. Lately, I've been leaning towards the smart world because I'm just kind of tired. But we did actually lose our WWE host, so we had to take a bit of a break and start to revamp things. So right now, we're putting out a sort of mini-series called Ring of Honor Year 1, where we're watching the first year of Ring of Honor shows and just kind of laughing at all the outdated stuff and enjoying the wrestling. You know, enjoying Low Key before he was a crazy anti-vaxxer or whatever the fuck he is now. But yeah, that's where we are right now. Honestly, the world of discussing news, we're looking to get back into that. But right now, we're just having fun in the past because the present is so damn depressing. So look out for episode 2 next week.
Nice. Where can they check that out on?
Find that on Spotify, podcast, anywhere podcasts are available, really. iTunes, you'll find it. Links will be up. Dirt Sheet Radio is the Facebook page where you'll find all further information.
So what would you say has been like the most difficult thing starting your own podcast and then working with others to kind of put it together and put it out there to other people? You know, we do our podcast getting together. Probably the toughest thing for us is like schedule, getting everybody on the same schedule and everything. But for you, what would you say is like the biggest struggle or obstacle?
Probably the biggest. That's probably my biggest thing too, scheduling, because I moved from New York to Texas, and I'm in like the another time zone now. So I have to try to schedule with people on the East Coast time zone, and I get out of work late, or I just want a silent time for my kids to not be around me. Or like it's two kids, and they're loud, you know, like so.
I hear you.
Absolutely.
It's a struggle. But, it's fun. It's worth it. It's worth it because I kind of just did it for fun because I was bored, not because I expected people to listen. And they listen. The numbers surprise me most of all. Like that's what keeps you going. The fact that people actually care. What the heck? That's surprising. Like so. That's basically where that's probably the hardest thing. Just scheduling or keeping up with what's going on while also being a parent. Like I have to know everything, which normally is something I do for fun, but when you have to do it, it feels it's a little different. Like
It
it's
is.
hard to force things to happen.
It's so true. Yep.
How about you guys? Top Guy JJ, Miss Chrissy Love, you got any questions for Jonathan?
What's your favorite part about having all of this connect? Like, what is it that you feel that keeps the continuity together with what you've been doing? Because it takes a lot, and there's a lot of personalities that's involved. Clearly, we're three total the most different people that is on this podcast. So, like with the kids especially, like how do you keep it all composed?
It's not easy, but the best part about having something like this whole situation, it's like especially in today's environment where I can't physically be with people. My own life. It's just fun. It's just good for my mental health. Like to be able to discuss the things I enjoy with like-minded people. So that's pretty much why I'm always excited. If Sid gives me a call, I'll be right back on here, or I'll record anytime I had time for it because it's just fun.
Absolutely. We love having true wrestling fans like yourself on the show for sure, brother. You, Chrissy, you got any question for him?
I actually do not have any questions. He said everything.
She relates to you very well already.
I do. I really do. I'm about to say he saw it firsthand, so he doesn't even need to know that.
So any final plugs you want to give for Dirt Sheet Radio or yourself where the people can find you?
So you can definitely find me on Facebook. That's where I spend a lot of my time. I mean, I'm all over social media, but if you want to talk, I'm on Facebook. Dirt Sheet Radio is the place to go. We're always sharing news and having fun discussing content. Facebook.com/Dirt Sheet Radio. You can type it all in as one word because that's how links work. So that's pretty much all I have for you. The next episode of ROH Year 1 will be out on the page where you'll get all the corresponding links for all. You can listen to the podcast wherever you want. So there are the plugs.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. Jonathan is one of the good brothers I met through, I think, a couple of different like wrestling groups on Facebook. This guy knows his wrestling, especially stuff outside of WWE, which I think proves to me, you're not just a WWE lover. You're a wrestling lover. You love your wrestling. He's watching ROH Year 1. ROH is so close to my heart, and I know it's close to his heart. So I'm definitely going to watch episode 2 of Year 1. So I know you guys should as well. Go out there, like and support and share all his great content because this brother knows his stuff. So we got to plug our lineup for right here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. We got the biggest episode yet for the Wednesday Night Warriors as me, It's me, your True Hill Phenom SP3 joins Romeo and Chris G to break down the first night of both NXT Great American Bash and AEW Fyter Fest. You can also check out the last edition of True Hill Heat 80 with Justin Clapper of Wrestling Travel as we discussed everything regarding the Speaking Out movement. That is a must watch. The latest J News Japan episodes reviewing the New Japan Cup 2020 action are all up right now, as well as night 6 and 7 will be up this weekend, and all new Joints and Jabronis with Proxy from Weed and Wrestling Podcast is up right now. The latest Dark Power and AE recap, also starring me for AEW Fyter Fest, will drop this weekend. You can check out the last episode as well as an all new edition of True Rewind, which drops every Monday right here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. And we apologize for the delay this week, but we will be back next Wednesday with our next Dark Side of the Ring Season 1 review for the mysterious death of Gorgeous Gino. And that's going to be right here on the YouTube channel next Wednesday. Miss Chrissy Love, Top Guy JJ, any plugs before we sign this off?
Yes, I am the sensation, Miss Chrissy Love. SmackDown with the Lynches has been going for a few weeks, but we will be back. It didn't make any sense to do anything from last week's episode because it was the death of The Undertaker. So with that being said, we'll be back this week. I'm not sure what content will be on there, but we'll be back and I'll, make my kids, force them to watch it. Other than that, you can find me on Facebook, IG, and Twitter underneath _ Chrissy Love or Miss Chrissy Love or just Crystal Lynch.
Top Guy JJ?
Absolutely. That SmackDown break was probably needed.
I mean,
Yeah.
just every now and then.
Yeah, definitely probably needed. So at Instagram, I'm TrueHeel _ Top Guy JJ. At Facebook, I'm simply Justin Johnson. And yeah, it's been great having you, brother. It's great having these wrestling chats, man. Getting these little debates here, man. It was really, really good, man. I love getting into those back and forths, especially that Jericho and Cassidy one, man. We need those heated. Yeah, we need those. We need those back in our life.
See, and this proves that wrestling fans can have different opinions without insulting each other. We should be so proud of each other because this does not happen every day.
Break down into insulting NXT for no reason.
Mudslinging as they call it. So yes, you can follow us. We got the True Hills group page on Facebook, True Hill Heat. You can find us there. Our boy Jonathan, he's an admin on the Facebook page, always giving us that quality, dirt sheet quality. And then we also are up on Twitter and Instagram at True Hill Heat. You can find me on Instagram at TrueHill _ Epic SP3. You can follow our partner out here in New York City, our partner promotion, Battle Club Pro, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at X Battle Club Pro X, and on YouTube they are up on there. You can follow them as well as My Battery is Dying, which is the new YouTube channel for Marcus Cash. You could also follow Jimmy Macaram from AE Recap, as well as our good friend Justin Clapper and Wrestling Travel, as they're getting close to 1,000 subscribers on there. Definitely support them on there. And you can also listen to True Hill Heat on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. So until True Hill Heat 82 next week, for our very, very special guest, Mr. Jonathan from Dirt Sheet Radio. Thank you so much for being on the show.
For having me.
For the princess of all the True Hills, Miss Chrissy Love.
Later, guys.
For our resident True Hill alcoholic, Top Guy JJ.
Done.
It is me.
Word.
SP3. My Terry Mana is gone, so I am signing off until next time.